welcome to a chapter a day. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. And for those of us in the United States, it's the day before Thanksgiving. So tomorrow I may be early or late, but I will be, God's willing, on time within the day, because you know it's going to be a holiday, etc., etc., a lot of activities. But for today, we are going to be reading 1 Kings chapter 4. Yesterday we saw how Solomon walked in God's ways. God gave him a dream at night, asked him, what would you want me to do for you? Which I always wish I could have such a dream. And he requested that God give him understanding and knowledge as to how to rule the people. And God was so impressed with Solomon's response that he gave him riches. He told him he would add on to him riches in addition, on the stipulation that he kept his commandments and walked in God's statutes like his father David. And then there came two women to test his knowledge, they call them harlots, who each had a son. And apparently one rolled over her son at night, and the child suffocated and died. And she took the child, the dead child, and put him next to the other woman and took her living child and brought it to herself. So when the case came before Solomon, Solomon said, you know what? Because one kept saying, no, it's my child. The other, of course, yes, it's my child. So Solomon said, you know what? Both of you are saying it's your son. Bring a sword. So they brought him a sword. And he was going to cut the child in half. I don't think he was really going to do that. But in his wisdom, he knew that when it came to that extreme decision, the real mother would stand up and say no. She would rather suffer the loss of having her child than to have the child killed. So when the woman who really was the mother said, no, 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 give it to her, while the other one was saying, yes, yes, divide it, because Solomon knew the heart of a mother. So wisdom, I tell you, it comes only from God. I always say that. Understanding, that's from books. Knowledge, that's from books. Wisdom, that's from God. Okay, let's go on. So King Solomon was king over all Israel, and these were the princes which he had: Azariah, the son of Zadok the priest, Elihoreph and Ahiah, the sons of Shisha, scribes, Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, the recorder, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the host, and Zadok and Abiathar were the priests, and Azariah, the son of Nathan, was over the officers, and Zabad, the son of Nathan, was principal officer and the king's friend. And Ahishah was over the household, and Adoniram, the son of Abda, was over the tribute. And Solomon had 12 officers over all Israel, which provided victuals for the king and his household. Each man his month in a year made provision. So we can see here in his organization of his servants and his officers wisdom. Just an organization. People think organizing is just something that comes naturally. No, if you go into some people's homes and offices and cars, you will see in their spaces, you can tell organization does not come easy. It's a gift, I think. Verse 8. And these are their names: the son of Hur in Mount Ephraim, the son of Dekar in Makaz, and in Shalbim, and in Beth-Shemesh, and Elon Beth-Hanan, the son of Hesed in Arubath. To him pertains Sakar and all the land of Hepher. So what he did is he put officers in charge of food, victuals of food, the rations, the grains, the vegetables, the fruits, whatever came in for the people. He was able to have officers in charge of each province that he ruled, so that everyone was going to be taken care of. Verse 11. The son of Abinadab in all the reign of Dor, which had Taphath, the daughter of Solomon, to wife, Bana, the son of Ahilud, to him pertained Tanak, and Megiddo, and all Bethshean, which is by Zartanah, beneath Jezreel, and Bethshean, to Abel-Meholah, even unto the place that is beyond Jokneam, the son of Jeber in Ramoth Gilead. To him pertained the towns of Jair, the son of Manasseh, which are in Gilead. To him also pertained the region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 80 great cities with walls and brazen bars. Okay, so they give you a whole list here. You had Abinadab in Mahanaim, Ahimaaz in who also took the daughter of Solomon to wife, Bana of Hushai in Aloth, Jehoshaphat, the son of Paruah in Issachar, Shimei, the son of Elah in Benjamin, Jeber, the son of Uri, was in the country of Gilead, in the country of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and of Og, king of Bashan, and he was the only officer which was in the land. So what happened is not just provinces that had Israelites, but the ones that they also had as tributaries. You know, like I was saying the other day, like how we have colonies. This is exactly what happened, because once they overtook a city, they would kill the people, but then they would still have those cities. And of course, I don't know if all the people would have been eradicated, or if Israelites would have gone in and inhabited, or they may have had other tributaries without Israelites really, but they were the ones in charge. So over everything that pertained to the kingdom of David, he had officers overseeing. So this is the whole listing here. Sometimes you may hear names that sound like people who maybe died before. This is just because it's names. We all have similar names, I guess, even today. All right, going on to verse 20. Judah and Israel were many as the sand which is by the sea in multitude, eating and drinking and making merry. And Solomon reigned over all kingdoms from the river unto the land of the Philistines and unto the border of Egypt. They brought presents and served Solomon all the days of his life. And Solomon's provision for one day was 30 measures of fine flour, and 80 measures of meal, 10 fat oxen, and 20 oxen out of the pastures, and 100 sheep, beside harts and roebucks, and fallow deer, and fatted fowl. For he had dominion over all the region on this side the river, from Tishpa even to Azar, over all the kings on this side the river. And he had peace on all sides round about him. And Judah and Israel dwelt safely, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. So God blessed Solomon with peace. He didn't have to fight the Philistines. He didn't have to fight the Amorites. King David already had done the work, and God allowed Solomon to come in after David and have that time of peace. So when it's time to build the temple or the sanctuary, that would have been Solomon's main purpose. So his hands would not have been at war having blood. That was one of the reasons his father, King David, was not allowed to build God's house, because he had bloody hands. Very warish, I should say, man. Okay, verse 26. And Solomon had fought. Now this is all the food for Solomon per day. For one day, all of these things they talked about. 10 oxen. Remember, when the king sat down, it was not just him. He had wives, he had concubines, he had servants, he had officers, he had, people, princes that ruled over some of the other provinces. They would come, and maybe even some kings from other countries that would, or nations near around, that would come and feast with him. So every day they would have a full table. Verse 26. And Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots, and 12,000 horsemen. And those officers provided victual for King Solomon, and for all that came into King Solomon's table, every man in his month, they lacked nothing. Barley also and straw for the horses, and dromedaries brought they unto the place where the officers were, every man according to his charge. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding exceeding much, and largeness of heart, even as the sand that is on the seashore. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt. You want to tell me when God blesses you? I don't care who the richest man on the face of this planet is right now. He couldn't touch Solomon. He cannot touch Solomon. In wisdom, first of all, and in riches. I mean, can't touch Solomon, because that's what God said. Kings before you and kings after you, there would not be anyone to touch you who could compare with you. That's what he told Solomon. All right, verse 31. For he was wiser than all men, than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman and Chalcol, and Dada, the sons of Mahol, and his fame was in all nations round about. So it's not to say there weren't other wise men. He was the wisest, okay? And he spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. And he spake of trees, from the cedar tree that is in Lebanon, even unto the hyssop that springeth out of the wall. He spake also of beasts, and of fowl, and of creeping things, and of fishes. And there came of all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon, from all kings of the earth, which had heard of his wisdom. Oh my goodness. He was like a celebrity. You ever had, like, you heard of these people, and they're not even wise. All they are just entertaining. They are entertainers. People come around from different countries to see them. But they wanted to hear or see for themselves how rich and how wise Solomon was. More for his wisdom. You know, and I would say this. Today it seems like being foolish is the thing that draws people around you. I don't understand that. I just don't understand to just sit and hear somebody speak foolishness for a length of time. I can't see how entertaining or how enlightening that could be. But he spoke wisdom, and that is what the people came to hear, which is what we should be seeking after, wisdom. You can't just want to be in the midst of fools. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, that is the end of 1 Kings chapter 4. So, until our next reading, I pray that you keep listening, because remember, that is how faith comes, when we listen, when we hear the word of God. So until then, take care. Bye.